Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I reiterate my words of congratulations to all the indigenous peoples of the world on World Indigenous Day. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to respond to the statement by the Honourable Admiral Retired William Poto. I was going to ask the Honourable Attorney General to do this for me, but I found that I still have time to contribute before I go to the next appointment with my colleagues from Tonga and the Cook Islands and Troika of Pacific Islands Forum. I write, Mr. Speaker, sir, to respond to the end of the week statement from the Honourable Admiral calling for a review of the 2013 Constitution. At the outset, sir, allow me to place on record that I already have agreed to the proposition. I am very much in favour and also commit the government to the various efforts that will go into working towards the completion of this task. The Constitution, Mr. Speaker, sets out the powers of the state, limitations on the state in relation to its citizens, and must protect the fundamental rights of the citizens. Further, that those who exercise power must be held accountable to the people they serve. Honourable Speaker, sir, it is particularly important in a multi-ethnic, multi-religious and multicultural nation like Fiji to have a constitution brought about by consensus and with consent and ownership of all constituent communities. We're seeing right now around the world, sir, the coming into conflict, the various interests in the various societies and communities around the world. Recently we saw the disturbances in Bangladesh and also in the United Kingdom. We could be blamed for starting all these in 1987. But since then, everybody has realized the dynamics of ethnicities around the world. And wherever we are, if we are involved in the formulation of constitutions or the foundations of lawmaking and governing in all these communities, none of which now, Mr. Speaker, sir, is monogamous. I mean, we're all multi-ethnic. There's no other mono-ethnic society in the world right now. And we must expect that there will continue to be uprising, maybe not violent. It will be uprising anyway. People coming up, groups coming up and voicing their concerns. The French Revolution, the War of Independence in America. This morning in caucus I mentioned to my colleagues those two upheavals happening in Bangladesh and the United Kingdom. People will continue to question why. Why is this happening in my home? How do I define my home? I'm reminded of what the late Archbishop Matara said in the process of working towards a constitution after the 1997 constitution was put out of place. And he said this, and I quote, "No matter how we come to be in Fiji or how long we have been here, we are all part of this land. It is the land of our birth, of the land of our adoption, the land to which we belong." That brought home to me the need for national, not just communal leadership. I was looking at communal leadership in the beginning of my journey, of my venture into politics, Mr. Speaker, sir. My first political party was ethnicity-based. But since I became elected to be the Prime Minister of all races, all ethnicities in Fiji, my perception changed. But since then, there have been other dynamics applied on our leadership role. The Honorable Napoto mentioned this morning his role as the commander of the Republic of Fiji military forces under this constitution. And what the current Commander and General Rajane might be thinking at this time. There is that thought within the military. What about us? How will we fare in any new arrangement? Probably thinking about the immunity clauses taken away, whether some of them or someone they know might have been involved in those things that they could be brought to trial on so many years after the event. These are the things that we will have to think about as we grapple with the reconstruction of our Constitution. Recently we had a professor from the Australian National University who spoke to us that was organized by the Fiji National University at the university campus. Clear thought, but they were his own thoughts. And most of us were there, and a lot of people noticed that I was taking down a lot of. The notes I was taking, Mr. Speaker, sir, were not for me to ask the questions later that night, but for me to be able to use as we continue on this journey. So the requirements of the Constitution, we are at leisure to look up those requirements for the amendment. Some of them, as he said that night, are pretty impossible to achieve. We're talking about 3/4 of the membership of the House, which we know we have. We easily calculate that. You're talking about 3/4 of the registered voters. Depends on what day, what time we make the count. How many died since we took the count and before they cast their vote? What figures will we be looking at? It is so difficult. And I'm hoping that before we get to that stage, we will have worked out the formula, a more achievable formula to be able to execute the task that we have given ourselves. And I must congratulate the Honorable Admiral Napoto for bringing this up. We said that it was part of our manifesto. His party did not say that they would do it, but he has said this morning, said to this Honorable House, that the responsibility for laying the foundations of governance in any country must come from the people themselves. and not necessarily the duty of one political party to be defending a constitution, nor any other political party to try and amend it. So I mentioned the various upheavals happening around the world. As a former peacekeeper, I have seen the destruction of ethnic differences being taken out and weaponized. So I hope we do not get to that stage. I was hoping I would be able to put a full stop there. But this time, I cannot put the full stop. I'll have to say we do not get to that stage again. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister.